Street Fighter 6 is in open beta, so everyone can jump on it,
Was an open
and
beta.
was an open beta, and yeah, it was pretty cool. You know, got to go hang out with and talk to some of the old Montreal Street Fighter guys jumping back in. You know, did some like online locals, so to speak. You know, and the whole time there was a vibe. When we did our stream, though, you know, and there was a twist to it, and I apologized to Reggie after the fact because I'm like, hey. Sorry if this was a waste of one of the beta days, but
Hard.
we had a stream that was all modern mode.
Yep.
And that I feel was an important thing. I feel like we needed to do that because I wanted to know and I wanted to prove and uh uh like I wanted to discuss what modern means, right? Because overall there's been, you know, we've touched on it here and there and stuff, and like we've started to see like the as people are finding more about it that have not been paying attention, there's like it's coming up as we're approaching the launch more, and people are like, "Ooh, should I, is there a problem if I do?" You know, which is funny because it's reminiscent of back in the older fighting game days. Whenever you'd pick a character and it would be like easy or regular, people would be like, "Oh, I don't want to pick easy, that feels bad." Right? So
And then you'd be like, actually, you really shouldn't pick easy either, because easy is like way weaker than regular.
there's some downsides or disadvantages and stuff that is just,
Only downsides when you pick like easy in like Marvel or something like that.
but a lot of that didn't go into people's decision. It was mostly just about shame. It was about feeling bad about having to
Yeah.
pick a mode that
What are
was
you,
not
little
what
baby
everyone
man?
else
You
did.
pick your easy mode, little baby man?
You know, that's what more or less governed that, or stylish in Guilty Gear and so on. So with modern though, like we start seeing like a question where it's like, hold on, this is a different version of the character that has not all the same buttons, has an easier time doing certain things, but can that be used competitively? Is there any real, like, for certain statement that says like that modern is going to be like just a joke no matter what when it comes to playing seriously or trying to be good at the game? And I think we've now definitively seen the answer. Absolutely not. Modern is very legit. If you want to play that and you're not used to fighting games, it is a perfect way for you to get started on it. There's no reason to be like, I'm going to feel inferior. It's not a real thing, whatever. The best players, there are some legitimate top Japanese players. John Takeuchi, I've been saying, has been using Modern Luke and has shown that off and has been doing stuff with it. And you're seeing how strong that can be. Furthermore, this weekend there's some footage of the top ranked modern player is a Guile player doing bullshit because Guile is
So
bullshit. But like it's crazy to see what's possible. Um so you know, anyone coming in worried about that, it's like you're not even, don't even worry about it. You're not approaching the skill ceiling of what modern can do. You're not even remotely close to thinking about that. Just pick it, press buttons, have fun.
yeah, so
I can't
straight
underline
up,
this enough.
my personal feeling on this, I'm not going to use modern because I'm not comfortable with what modern gives you in the controls, right? But I was like, hey, Peach Saliva, hey, wife, would you like to try a game of Street Fighter? The open beta is going, right? And you can try modern controls. She did the tutorial for modern controls, hopped into a match as Chun Li, was paired with another beginner, and came down to the wire. Technically lost, but it was one of those like trades that traded in the opponent's favor. She was anti-airing with Chun Li's kicks. She was
Brilliant.
doing a combo into a super. This is the first time she has touched the game. This is a very obvious step to go further from, rather than, hey, why don't we do training mode for 4 or 5 hours before you can throw a fireball, and then you can start to play the game.
Yeah.
Like, there is now a beginning
Start playing
place.
now. Start playing the moment you buy the game. Absolutely.
Yeah. There is a spot to start. And also, I fought some modern Guiles.
Mm-hmm.
modern Guiles are scary as shit.
Because they're still Guile.
They're still
Absolutely.
Guile, but
Yeah.
suddenly all the stuff that Guile can do is suddenly much easier, and Guile can do a lot.
Yeah. And um you know, I just like, because it just keeps coming back up so often with with people with the concerns over, feeling like they're like, I don't want to learn modern and get fucked over because I'm now like, I've gotten better but I've picked the wrong path, and and I'm kind of capped off, and it's like, you're so far, like, one, that's not the case because modern can go super far, as I've established, and second, you're so far away from that, from ever thinking about
Oh yeah, you're very far.
right,
I'm
like,
far
yeah,
from that.
we're like we're all far, like, there's like when you don't know what the distance is, it's really, I guess, like, you're not sure how, like, it's kind of to even think about that idea of like, but wait, when I'm getting into top fucking, I don't know, 500 at Evo, like, am I gonna have to be like, am I fucked over when I picked modern? And it's like, man, like, there's so much to do before that point, so
There's a lot going on here. Like let's take Ryu, the character I did fuck around with on modern a little bit, right? Ryu on modern mode gets like very very good pressure and very good anti-air for free because they're buttons now, right? But he loses most of his kicks,
he
his pokes,
he loses a bunch of his great pokes.
right? And like that hurts, but it means that there's going to be things that modern Ryu is really good at, like spacing and like fireball and the classic fireball Shoryu game for jump in. Modern Ryu is going to be excellent at that. He might be a little weaker from the very specific range that his fucking medium kick would reach.
Now, this, however, when you take it over to Luke, changes drastically, because Luke, as a new character, I mean, Street Fighter V, but like, it changed around, built around 6, is kind of built for these controls, and
He would be.
he fares so much better than Ryu does using modern. The
Yeah.
tools that he has, like the things he loses, there's things to make up for it, right? The buttons he doesn't get to use, he has other things that kind of do the same thing. So you really get like a way better opportunity with modern Luke than you do with like modern other versions of characters. And so it's
Yeah.
going to be character specific how much they gain or lose, right? Chun-Li, for example, when Reggie was messing around with it, Chun-Li has a stance she can go into that you like get a bunch of extra buttons out of. And in
Mhm.
modern, initially we're like, oh, you can't do that stance, that's a whole bunch of moves gone. And it's like, no, you can do it, but you have to do a preset auto combo first and stop midway through it to then get her into that stance.
I
That's the
see.
only way, So it's like, oh, it's like a harder, more pre-canned situation, not as useful as being able to do it right away from classic. But yeah, Luke gets a ton, and then the thing that everyone in modern gets, and this is like a universal, is like, you get the ability to, as soon as anyone leaves the ground, you have a Shoryuken, anti-air, or whatever, one button ready to go, right? They can, like, jumps are as scary as they should be, because, like, a lot of people who, are still getting used to the game don't have the ability to react and put a Shoryuken in when someone's about to jump on them, so they get jumped on all
Mhm.
day. But the person who's jumping, like, you should be afraid to jump regularly against players in Street Fighter, because, like,
An entire world of stop jumping.
has been ignored, and here that's comes back into play. So you get a one button thing for that. You get a two button super, and what that means is the moment I see you like whiff any kind of really slow action right in front of my face, I'm just gonna press that and get you, and it's gonna do
No
less
scaling.
damage.
It's a raw hit.
No, no, no. It scales. You get 80% damage off of anything shortcut
No,
related.
no, I mean it's not from a combo or like
Oh yeah,
a
raw super. Yes, yes. You
yeah.
do the raw super, so you didn't do a combo first, so you get more damage out of that. However, using a shortcut input means you're going to get less damage, which is totally fair because you're able to do it immensely faster, right?
But
And
it creates this weird thing of like, hey, you're gonna run in, you're gonna throw an overhead. Did I see a frame of an overhead?
hmm hmm
Button,
that's it,
die.
right? And Luke in particular, he's got his level 1, which is the da 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 da, and then he's the fireballs, and then the level 3, which is the big ground and pound. Both of which from mid screen, if
Yeah,
you start if you start to throw a fireball at me,
that happened to me. I played Luke's that I would the before the fireball would manifest in Ryu's hand,
no,
the fucking super flash would go off.
yeah, right. That's the trade off. Or if you want to do like something that's pretty something that I can do, but I drop it often, is like crouching jab, super, right? Pop, pop, boom, right into it. It's like it's a
Yeah,
tight thing. You got to be able to react to see that you're doing it. Pump the super in on the second hit. It's tricky. Here you just go pop, pop. Am I hitting him? Yeah, boom,
button.
done. You know. So I played modern, yeah, for the entire stream, and was just playing as like advanced of a modern version of the character as I could, and it presented some issues that are very real. One of them is clear: is if you are used to the classic version of a character, if you've played Ryu for the last 30 years and then
Yup.
you switch to modern Ryu now, you're gonna have that hard onboarding time. You're gonna be like, I'm not. Oh God, what? Right?
That's the situation I ran into. I tried modern Ryu once, and I was like, "Where's my fucking medium kick? I
Yeah,
want my medium kick back."
yeah. Because you know what it is? You're now playing the Tatsunoko version of Ryu,
Yeah,
you know? Or the Marvel 3 version of Ryu, where like you have light, medium, heavy, it's not punch or kick, and you just have to throw everything onto that input. It's very, very strange. And you are comparing what you're used to with this new thing and trying to unlearn the old, and that's the problem. There's a similar situation that happened when Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle came out, and it's like, are you a fan of your Persona character? Okay, well, the
yeah.
version you're gonna get here is not the same thing because it's been put into this system that is much more pre-canned, and you're missing half your move list. So sorry, the thing you wanted to do is gone, and that sucks. However, like if you are picking up a new character, or if you just are overall just like, yeah, but I'd rather be able to do the special moves I want to do whenever I want to do them, then it's worth doing it, right? It took me a while to unlearn classic Luke and put my brain into modern Luke mode, and then make
Yeah.
my fingers reach for the right buttons and go to the right places to get the combos working.
So like I've never played I've played like a tiny amount of Luke.
Yeah.
Like maybe 4 matches total. Um so I might hop on modern Luke specifically
hmm
because I don't have that,
Any
you
attachment.
know, 20-30 years of attachment.
Yep. And I kind of went, all right, I can't do the same button combo that I used to do because that button's missing. I can't pressure the same way. What can I do instead? And so I found like replacement combos that were like, a little less damage, but still decent, still reliable. I found, ways to pressure and like kind of do what I used to do with a different button instead. Um, and then like I can see as well a little bit of a like a goal where I used to do like let's say like standing heavy punch, drive rush, and then I'll go into crouching medium punch and then crouching
Mhm.
heavy punch. Right, that's a thing that
Yeah.
Luke can do. If you do it in modern mode, to get crouching medium punch, you have to hold combo assist button and then press the medium attack. And the first hit of the assist combo is the crouching medium punch, but no
Mm.
other version of that no, but that's the only way to get that button out.
Right. Okay.
So you have to now learn to hold the assist button to do a moment but to do one button, then release it to go back to crouching heavy punch for the next part of it. And that's
Yeah.
again a whole bunch of muscle memory that you're just brand new to, and this is where like if you want to get used to modern and you start getting good with it, you're going to need to get like the hang of holding assist and then taking it off,
Yeah.
But in any case, Yeah, it like you know, I'm sure you guys saw, like we were having these hilarious just moments of like every time someone did anything that you would have a difficult time reacting to with your normal input, but the
Die.
modern super just kills you. We're just humming, I am the modern man. You know, like it's perfect. You give your soul over to Babby D, get the M on your forehead, and accept it. You know, it's real and it's great, and I think it's gonna do an awesome job at the beginner level, the intermediate level, and high level play. You know, we're gonna see the Zoomer that shows up, never playing Street Fighter before, that is like, oh, this is fun. I get in this way, and then just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, and becomes a regular scene threat with
Mhm.
their M character. You know, it's beyond legit, man.
I saw a lot of great stuff this weekend on that beta. I saw I went to the Street Fighter Reddit, which I've started following now again because there's lots of new people there talking about Street Fighter. I
Hmm.
saw an attitude that is relatively new. And I feel like it's a combination of modern controls and the excellent netcode. I'm seeing people post screenshots of like their win loss, and their win loss ratio is like 40 to 580.
Hmm.
Like losing 95% of matches and going, "Yo, I'm having so much
I'm having
fun."
so much fun.
I and like if you look past that, it's like I can intuit that like a lot of those players are like, I'm having fun because I feel like I'm controlling my character. Like losing in a fighting game, particularly as a new player, has often felt like somebody gave you a busted controller
I
to
don't know
fight
what I'm
against
doing.
somebody.
Where's the
It's
gas
like
pedal? What
my
is this?
character is
Yeah,
not doing what I want them to do and I lost.
yeah.
Mentally, I might be able to have a real match. I'd probably still lose, but the things I want to happen just aren't happening, even on a basic level.
Yeah, the intention towards what you tried to do, even if that was the wrong thing to do, the fact that you couldn't do it and then you got beat up feels bad. It's
Right? So
because you're feeling the lack of knowledge and the lack of execution ability. You know.
yeah. So that's been great. Number 2 is I want to shake the hand of whoever thought it was a good idea to put a chat room in that battle hub, because that is that is the shittiest place I have seen in a fucking game since like the World of Warcraft Barons chat. It is the absolute most toxic fucking shithole I have ever seen. It is so fucking funny. They are so fucking mad. Everyone in that chat is
Yep.
so fucking mad.
It's a place for the person to put their toxic DM that they would otherwise send privately to the player that they just beat, except now everyone can see it, and the player they just beat has moved on to their next game, so they're not looking at it. And you can just see the best of your scrub quotes where someone that thinks they're great but is actually completely ass going, whatever, block spammer, you know, you think you're so good, you deserve that you deserve to
It's
lose. You'll never fucking get good. Spam and block. You know.
it's
It's fantastic.
so wildly fucked, and like it's just it's scrub quotes, the scrub quotes Twitter account just like rolling past you, just fuck you, racial slur, blah blah blah, modern Luke, modern whatever, followed by are you mad because you can't tech throws, just 100 times a second, just go 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 go. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
The thing is of course that like every MMO and like online game that's had those server chat things anyway, on Overwatch and yada yada, it's just become such an expected part of the online experience, you know, and it's also become an expected part of any game where you can walk around with an online avatar. So
Yeah.
that's why it's here now. Is like, well, you're gonna be having social hangout events in the battle hub when you leave World Tour. So we got to
Yeah.
do the server chat room thing that every other genre does.
It's funny because like I play 14 and 14 has a PvP in it, and they wanted to get away from how fucking toxic that would get. So in Final Fantasy 14 PvP, you cannot talk to your teammates. Like fuck not being able to talk to the other team.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even talk to your teammates. They gave you emotes to push. Like rush the point and shit like that. Don't even allow it. Meanwhile, I go over to Street Fighter 6. There is just an open chat for like all 100 people in the room to just say anything you want. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it.
And again, like the fucking the childish baby that has no control over their emotions, that has to go and like use PSN to DM you, is now that instinct will be
It's right there.
perturbed because this is right there in front of you. It's actually a catch-all. So jumping into the servers at different times and stuff, I think it bears mentioning that, at least on my experience, it was not all toxic chat. There were some hilarious memes being posted.
Oh no, yeah, of course. I'm just saying, like when it gets gnarly, it's gnarly.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt. But literally, I saw shit. I saw last night. I saw I only lost that one because my mom was hitting me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you got all kinds of shit going on in the chat. And I mean, I'm sure there's some folks out there that can be helpful. I think if somebody asks a question, right? Like, because I've seen some people go, "Hey, is this or does this work here?"
I saw the answers to those questions.
Yeah. So,
like real answers, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, so you can legitimately try something out if you're just like, oh, hey, does this situation not work? Or if I do a drive rush and yada yada, you might.
The number one question I saw asked was,
how do I switch to classic mode? Yeah, because it puts you right into it for sure. Yeah, and I do appreciate too that you can have it be character by character. Like that thing has been really awesome. Custom buttons, custom settings, everything. Each individual character layout.
In 3 days of matches, playing people from as far away as Argentina and Singapore, I had one hiccup in one match.
Okay. I had some bad ones. New Zealand I had a rough match with someone from New Zealand. I had a rough match with someone from England.
Mayhaps.
But it's always...
Mayhaps you are the one with the bad Wi-Fi.
Maybe it is I. Maybe it is. Yeah, Argentina. Yeah. The situation is always variable according to whoever's playing on what kind of setup. But most matches of this game are great.
I did play last beta. I played somebody in New Zealand, and there were like a couple hitches here or there. But it was like still better. It wasn't perfect, but it was still better than like delay. And the person was in New Zealand, the farthest possible location.
Oh, Australia, yeah, right. So it's we watched that ping go way the fuck up. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Baller Swag, right. I remember 9,000 ping. Well, no, I was just going to say that, like, that aside as well, so some folks are in a tricky spot with the whole modern thing because there's like, okay, I'm not a complete noob, but I'm not very good because I have played Street Fighter before a bit. But
played some.
Just enough that I'm like, yeah, the classic feels right, but I still can't get those Hadokens out as much as I want to.
Right, that's a weird spot to be in.
That is a weird spot to be in, and I do have empathy for that. However, there's a great incentive, and that incentive is, what better excuse to learn Modern than when you take your wacky, stupid World Tour character, put all kind of bullshit moves on them that are from other characters that you don't know and that you're not familiar with, and you're completely playing a brand new stupid thing that you just made up. Why not use Modern for that?
Hey, I'm going to make a character that's exactly the same as Ryu in every way. except for the part where instead of Hurricane Kick, I have a spinning pile driver.
Give it SPD.
Right?
Dressed up like Ryu, headband on, fully just like right in there, right?
Fireballs and shore
And
use.
everyone walks in and they go, I know what I'm getting out of this, and then they let it happen, and then you Dosho Doria. Yeah. You just fucking that's hilarious. Cosplay
You
a
know,
character.
I
Oh my
think,
god. That's another level mix up.
I think
Cosplaying a
that
Chono and then throwing an SPD out.
the Cronenberg battles should be 3 out of 5 because there's going to be at least a full match of I don't even know what this guy's got.
Question. Very important. And this is for all of you as well. Does the matchup screen show you
It should.
what moves you're about to fight?
It really should. It
But
absolutely
should it though? But should it though?
I hope it does.
Counterpoint. Counterpoint. But what if it doesn't?
Okay, let me put out my feeling. It absolutely should. However, I hope it doesn't.
Because yeah, man.
Dude, people are
Come
gonna
on.
fucking roll on infinites with that thing. Like,
Yo, you're fighting somebody, you go the whole set, and you're like, they haven't used their level 3 yet. What do they have? I don't know what and you jump, and then it's JP. Teleport, bap, get got. Oh my god, yo. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I
I
think
also
I think if we embrace that we are throwing all the rules out.
mhm,
When someone spawns in fucking Dark Souls and
yeah.
then switches to their fucking Moonlight Greatsword, you don't know what else is going on that build. What if they
Yeah.
cast Invisible Weapon?
What if
You
they
don't know
do it? I don't
what.
know. Well, who could know?
Maybe, you know what? Maybe there's a piece of equipment you can put on that hides your skills. Maybe you
Um,
have to earn that right.
I also
But what
I
if it
also
does?
I've played a lot of ranked matches this time around, and boy, I'm really happy with the way it works because I loaded up Jamie and I did my placement, and it put me into the top of silver. No, it put me into gold. It put me into the bottom of gold, and I was like, hell yeah! And then I played some gold matches, and they were some fucking mean matches that I was losing 60% of, but like this feels appropriate, right? Then I went and did my placement matches with Ryu, and it put me into the middle of bronze, and that's exactly where I needed to be with Ryu. My Ryu is in the middle of bronze, and this is a really minor thing overall, but for fucking Street Fighter 5, playing 300 matches as Abigail or Geef and getting up to like the top of silver or whatever, and then switching a character and then going, you're the top of silver, right? And then just getting annihilated because I don't know how to fucking play Cammy or Guile in fucking Street Fighter 5.
I had a violently different experience with the ranked system
Oh yeah.
so far in this beta, and I have a finger up in it because I have questions.
Hmm.
I don't think that it's currently accurate.
Uh-huh.
Um, we'll have to see what happens when the floodgates fully open, although they were pretty open this time around.
Hmm.
I did my placements. I, went through like fairly simply. I
Hmm.
got dropped in diamond, and
Ooh.
I know what diamond play used to mean in Street Fighter 5. I'm not a diamond player.
Ooh. Oh,
So I'm like,
time to die.
hmm. And no, actually, I was taking out platinum players fairly decently.
Oh, well then
So
maybe it's beta diamond.
it's beta diamond. That's what I'm getting at. It's not real diamond. And it's beta platinum. And so I think everything scrolling down is the beta version of those rankings.
You,
It
you
didn't
know what
feel
I
right.
liked? What I really liked about the ranking system is that when you go to hit ranked match, they're like, listen, how good are you for real? Self-diagnose your skill level. Are you a
Hmm.
total novice? Are you beginner? Are you intermediate? Are you advanced? Are you pro? And
That's
we're gonna throw you into your placements based off of that.
Yeah. That is fantastic for DNF also asks you the same thing. I don't know what the first game was to ask you that. But DNF was the first time I can recall seeing it. And I think that's great because it's just like be honest. Are you someone who thinks you're the best? All right, we'll prove it, you know?
Okay, we're gonna place you in a placement matches with diamond and above. Oh, are
Hmm.
you gonna get
Now
blown the shit out?
hopefully it works, right? Hopefully it does actually um, you know, reflect the challenge you get sent and then what you perform and how you do it, yada yada. Um, but no, I'm just kind of like, yeah, what Diamond meant back in Street Fighter Five was that you were a step below Master and then Grandmaster.
Yeah,
Um, and I don't
I don't
feel
think it means that anymore.
yeah.
I
So
don't think that's
we're gonna have to see what the thing is on that. But I'm like, I wouldn't call myself that for sure. Um, you're Diamond Dogs now. What do we what we do get that matters more? I would say is yeah. I'd say like if you want to have that like the ranking number that goes next to your name, like they had that for old ranking as well, where you know, and it's like there should be a cutoff point where it's like I don't really care if I'm ranked 1,500,000 3, you know what I mean? Like ranked 9 digits.
like it because being able to climb it even minorly is appreciated.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like the system that we saw in Rising Thunder, Killer Instinct, and a couple other games was there is a threshold you hit from that uh, bronze to gold to silver to gold to platinum and then beyond, and then like once you break that kind of platinum level, then you're like okay now you just get a number.
Hmm.
I think that felt good, you know, because it's like okay, at a certain point, it's not just like what the label is. It's I want to know how many people I'm
Hmm.
climbing towards. But early on, you kind of want that personal achievement. You know, it's a bit more um, widespread versus just like those numbers. I think if there's like enough of them, when you're in the again, you're in the ninth, you're in the 99th percentile. Um, it's at a certain point you're not really paying attention to that number. It's so big that it doesn't matter, right? Number doesn't matter until a certain point when it starts
Hmm.
to matter. But if you're just playing and moving up, you're just like, "Ooh, cool! I got to gold
I
now."
like it when the number go up.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I guess.
There's also something like, even if it's not accurate, being able to say like, "Hey, I'm the 79,400 best Street Fighter player in the world." There's only 79,000 people that could beat me.
yeah. Whatever you want to feel. I guess it's a question of like what types of metrics do you show the player because that has a massive effect on your mentality, you know, in these games. Um, and as we know, right, no game has to couch your losses softer than a fighting game does.
Here's
Um,
the thing, though. Now with modern controls, like genuinely because of the modern control and the easy availability of quick matches, I think that's just as important. We're not talking about that as much. We talked about that in the last couple, but like matches are quick in Street Fighter 6. I mean getting matches.
mhm.
Like you sit down and you play and you play and play, you hit training mode, rank matches come in very quickly. People seem a lot less salty about losing in general because it feels like they have more control over what they're actually trying to do.
More
And then like
opportunities to do them.
yeah, because like when you were, I remember playing like Xbox original on 360 third strike matches. And when I fought somebody that blew my ass out and then I had to wait 15 fucking minutes
Yep.
for my next match, yeah, that was pretty fucking demoralizing.
20 actually, because there's an extra 5 minutes on the Ultra that Ken is killing you with.
Yeah.
KO. And then he continues. Um, I think we're gonna have to watch and see, but the ranking system in these games, there's always been a like, is this right? Is it not? How should it swing elo back and forth? Rising Thunder had a very real, transparent ass like, you're gonna win a match, you're gonna get destroyed another in the next match.
Hmm.
Like it's throwing you someone way above and someone way below your skill level intermittently or
Yeah.
interchangeably
Ping pong elo is
until
not fun.
eventually it gets down to a stabilized place. But it's so obvious for such a long time, you know? And what feels really bad is when you know that that's the case. So you have a match against someone who's supposed to be on the weak side, and then you lose on that side. And then your next match is, oh, here's someone really bad. And now your new high is, it's like, they're like, oh, we thought you were like this, but you're down here. So now we're going to do this. And
Hmm.
then, okay, all right,
I believe that's been the argument of people's frustration with Call of Duty's matchmaking forever
right, skill
is
based
that
MM.
is is that you're just ping ponging between children and professionals.
Yeah,
And
that's
your win rate's 50%, right? So hey, that's what we're all trying to. It's like the best example of like fairness. Fairness is the goal. Always fairness. 50%. 5-5 utopia. It's like, no, that's not. It's a myopic view of win loss.
the goal is to have close matches, not to have blowouts every time, one way or the other, right? Yeah. So yeah, we'll see where that lands, but those things are notable. Anyway, so this week I'm going to continue with Mass Effect, going to continue with FF9. Um, I think we're going to try to schedule a slop stream, so keep your eyes peeled on my Twitter for the submissions. And yeah, go check it out. WoolieVersus on Twitch, WoolieVersus on YouTube. And also, we just dropped a retro best of, if you want a way back journey, the best of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the seventh stand user. Thanks to Civ for that compilation that you can go see that we did with like that I did like years ago with Volta from way back when. It was
Mhm.
it's just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that never got a best of, so let's do it. This is from before a bunch of people now were watching even, so I'm like, I don't know how weird or awkward things commentary wise sounded. I definitely feel like I've gotten better since that time, but I did also notice that at the end of that, Civ throws a to be continued on in the JoJo style. It is not to be continued. I should throw
Oh
out.
no.
Just the game is just, it makes it very difficult to play. You can watch it and see yourself like how annoying it gets over time, and it's unfortunate because like, their hearts were in the right place and the spirit is very, very like full of love for JoJo. But the problem is that it was filled with even more love for Dragon Quest. and they couldn't put that part down. They wanted to make a Dragon Quest game with a little bit of JoJo in it, and I feel like they got exactly what they were aiming for, for better and worse. Yeah, so that's what we're up to.
Before I move off of Street Fighter 6, I just want to say one last thing. It was really heartwarming that in almost, I think actually every single Jamie mirror that I played over the entire weekend, both Jamies would just drink to four before starting every round.
Oh my god, that's hilarious! You get just backing off and getting loaded up. That's
Yeah,
funny. That's super
it's
funny.
just like we both want to do it. Sure, let's just like it. Awesome, it's great.
I definitely was taking notes for anti-drinking tech because I fought some strong Jamies. There's some Montreal Jamies that are trying to learn, and it's
It
like,
it it reminds me a lot of something very classic and very stupid, which is starting a match in Third Strike and having Urian just stand there and do that fucking medium punch. and Chun-Li just fucking stand there and do that goddamn hard kick or low medium kick until you get your bar.
There's backing up and getting your buttons, absolutely, getting your bar out, and then there's backing up and taunting because in Third Strike it has effects on your character.
Yeah.
Which anytime I go, like, if I ever want to make fun of a Dragon Ball game for the characters backing up and going ha, it's like, but that's the Street Fighter equivalent of doing this.
Yeah.
Let's go, Hey, 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 hey.
I am also, yeah, one last thing. Hey, open beta as a test of like, hey guys, here we're gonna stress it with an open beta, everybody in. Shit was completely fine. I encountered no problems. At one point it went down for maintenance. I'm like, oh no. And it's like, yeah, no, we're fixing the tournaments. There was a slight issue with the way tournaments work, and then it came back up in an hour and it was fine.
Yeah, if you saw anybody with devil wings on their character, that's how they got them, by winning a tournament.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah! That fucking rules!
Exclusive cosmetics for in-game accomplishment. Just so you know.
Oh, that rules.
I also I took note. I saw there's a little rental ticket system in the corner, and I was like, I don't know. That might be some sort of way to like try out a DLC character before you buy them. So there's some
That
stuff.
would be cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what it should be, right? It should be a way to try out the non-on rotation characters before you buy them. Because you downloaded the Street Fighter 6 for free.
That
and
would be
and
wonderful.
Ryu and Luke are available and you can try out the others.
That would be wonderful. I would love that.
I part of me in my like gut is like waiting for the game to be out for 1 month and them to turn on the fucking free to play. Just like, oh,
you can't. You see, you'd have to go the other way on it, though. You'd have to tell everyone from the jump, here's what the free version is, and if you want to spend the money, here's the retail.
yeah.
Because, like, I mean, I'm not gonna like, as much as we've been saying it for years. Street Fighter being free to play would be an awesome thing for the genre. This game is a fucking fantastic package. It's so good, and like, I can't pretend that it's not worthy of purchasing at
Oh,
the price,
absolutely. It is the most fun I have had in a fighting game since fucking chilling at your place and playing Third Strike till like 5 a.m. till the bus showed up.
It's amazing.
Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
All they had to do was unshackle the team, and let the good ideas fly. And now we've gotten this. So I'm very much like, I'm happy that this is a worthwhile thing that's like, yo, you should buy this game. It's fucking one of the best fighters we've had.
Hey, there's a great question we should address. Were there any strong positive feelings towards Street Fighter V pre-launch at all? Like, yes, because there was a new Street Fighter game, but a lot of it was kind of apologetic. Like, a lot of my feelings were like, yeah, I know it doesn't have any of the modes it needs, and the netcode isn't perfect, but like, put the game out now, and then we can play it, and then they'll improve that later, and then
You've got the basic versus mode, so we can run brackets on it. End of story.
Yeah.
Right? There's that. There's also the part that was important too is 4 had hit its fatigue point.
Yeah.
Ultra was the best version of 4, but I barely played much of it when that came out. Everyone had been just kind of thoroughly done, and 5 was a like, oh, this is fresh, this is good, 5 has also hit its fatigue point, but and it's the best version of 5 at the end finally, but ultimately the ride was so much rockier than it was in 4 that here it's just like, we'll take whatever the fuck you got, and now what you got is everything we wanted and then some, you know?
Yeah, Street Fighter V had the worst possible long tail conceivable because it was like the game is missing a lot that should be there and it has problems. And then like new versions would come out and the new versions would be substantially better. And you'd be like, oh, okay. So like, wow, they have all the characters I like. I'll pick up Street Fighter V now and get fucking murdered by people who were playing it for 2 straight years, 3 straight years.
I
Back
think
when the game wasn't nearly as good.
like Capcom like would I don't think they'll ever embrace the idea of like let's just make a full-on free-to-play thing like this without first testing the waters with a free-to-play something else that they don't care about as much, you know? Because once you pop that bottle, you can't really put it back in, right? You know, MultiVersus can be what it is because it's a brand new game and they're trying out some new shit as they're making their own platform fighter. But like to make Street Fighter drastically go this direction and then pull it back, will it that's a rougher thing to do, you know, to have the same expectation you have for the entire franchise, which is it's a normal price game, everyone buys it. And I think as well too that if they're able to look at it and go, well, we'll make more money just selling to the people that are interested in this than we would trying to do the giant like get the kids on their phones playing it version of this thing, you know, we would have heard about mobile control play. We would have heard about, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? There'd be so much other like instant upload to TikTok style features that would have been there already, you know, but I think we're just we're just not going to go that road. And
Very, very big excited for Street Fighter 6. It's the most excited I've been in a fighting game for a long time. I hopped in to play Strive matches a little bit ago, just to do it because you know I wanted to play 6, but 6 didn't exist. And like Strive is really great, and the netcode is good. It's really good. Getting into matches in that game after playing a lot of Street Fighter 6 is agony. It's fucking crazy how long it takes to get into a match.
So one made worse if you happen to ever look at anyone's R code, but two made worse because hackers were hacking and creating a worst online environment for a long time there, and there was a period where playing Strive online was like it got worse than it was initially because of some people were fucking
Oh, goody.
deliberately griefing it. Yeah, I'm just looking. Some dust particles are coming in hard on the fucking camera. Let me see if I can fix that. But yeah, no, Strive. If you felt it worse in the last time you've played it, it's because some assholes were deliberately actually
Oh, wonderful.
trying to
That's
make it
just
worse.
super.
Um,
Let's see. What
Right.
oh no. Oh, he's touching us. Oh, much better. Um it's part of news, but I'm going to go into it now because I think it's appropriate. Woolie, we talked for maybe a half hour about the incredible step forward modern controls is for
you said
fighting
the
game
right,
players
so
in,
you know where
in
this is going.
in terms of helping people play a game and making it a game for normal humans. Meanwhile, over in Arxis land, they have gone what I'm going to say is too far. They have gone too far
Not
with
far enough,
Asuka.
motherfucker. Not far enough. If you want to say, let's pop over to Guilty Gear and see what's going on in this here thread. Huh? Are you ready to learn some cards? Bitch! Fighting games! Fighting games, son!
I saw that cheat sheet you posted.
Yo! Listen up, alright? Modern is out there for the modern man, for the modern woman. We can be with the times, we can have fun, we can press buttons. At the same time, you need to reward people who want that grime. They want that nonsense. They need an infinite abyss, a chasm of a character to throw themselves into. Lore-wise, I've touched on this already, but it is the perfect thing that if Saul is the Unga Bunga one brain cell man, Asuka R. Kreutz, the fucking that man himself, the biggest thing we've been waiting on to be playable, has to be the most brain cells required character. He is the actually character where you get the reference to FPS in the form of Felt, you get the reference to 3D fighters with Ramlethal, reference to MOBAs with Jacko Valentine, reference to fucking card games because Asuka has a deck that he has to fight with. And it's not, people are making a lot of comparisons because things have come before that are similar, right? Nine the Phantom and Blaze Blue, and to some degree Susanoo have things that you unlock that increase their complexity. Nine has a series of moves that then lead to her ability to cast spells. But that is still a character that has a normal move set and then some unlockable aspects to it that you earn, whereas Asuka is completely random right across the board.
It's wild going from like, oh man, I really like Jamie in Street Fighter. He's so cool and in depth because I can drink a drink and get slightly better moves. Wow. And then I look over and see a randomized set of 3 different full sets of randomized cards that all have mana uses and costs and mana regen to be used at random to refill the like. Well, to those of you who are unaware of what this looks like and have played FF14, they put Astrologian, the fucking card dealing random bullshit MMO archetype, into a fighting game.
Yeah.
For freaks.
Everyone's like, oh, it's the rotation. It's the FF14 rotation. I've seen that before.
It fucking looks like it, dude. It looks like it on that. The formatting that people post their 14 rotations looks like that cheat sheet.
Asuka R. Kreutz is here to unretire people from fighting games and get them out of those retirement homes. Here, you know what you're looking at. Now learn it on the battlefield, man. So, what you would expect of this kind of crazy mage character would be, like maybe 4 or 5 moves, and they're the same moves, and then one would be cast spell, and it'll be a random spell from a page, and he'll have a crazy mechanic based on combo into random spell, kind of like an item throw or something, you know? Maybe you can do a lot of but like the idea that none of what he does, like he's got his buttons, but none of his special moves are anything you can control regularly. The only thing that is certain is his super, which is that super fireball, and then the second super, which is rearrange the deck, discard your hand, pull out a new deck. You know? I can't fucking wait, man. The level of knowledge, the level of like practice and memorization that will go into how to on the fly do a combo based on not knowing what comes next, you know, recognizing the icon, knowing how much you've spent, knowing how much you have left, choosing when to switch to the third or fourth or second deck. Unbelievable.
Alternatively, how can you defend yourself if I don't know what move I'm using?
Perfection. None of us knows what's coming next. Good luck.
I've turned this fighting game match into bumper cars in which no one is steering.
Yep.
Go.
I know you hate it when this word comes up, but he's flipping through the backyard. He's flipping through the home.
I saw it. I seen it. I saw the backyard.
He is hitting you with information density spells. And they're doing all kinds of things. It seems as if like a lot of them are really just like, this projectile is going to come at you in some bullshit ass way, right?
Yeah. Like a lot of them were cubes that were coming in from various angles.
The cube, yes, and whatever that angle is, he can change it by putting a staff down that it'll curve around. I love it. I love that he has to be the biggest brained character about everything because that's exactly faithful to what he is lore wise, you know. And yeah, I'm looking at it like, well, if you're playing Strive, you're probably gonna want to know at least what some of those icons are to not die. So you can just be like, yeah, I saw someone say, If I play Potemkin, I just want to know if any of those icons makes him jump, and that's the one I'll memorize.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like fine, but you're gonna need to know what some of them do. There's one of them
Nah,
that there's one of them that's an overhead from full screen.
I don't. Man.
You better recognize which one that is, because it's gonna fucking blow you up every time if you don't. You know. Um, I'm curious to see whether Happy Chaos can like outdo it or not. You know, because you
Mhm.
can actually hit the projectiles in a lot of cases. Um, I'm wondering if the gun will be able to like outdo the mana output because when you use the mana bar that he has, you can cast and cancel into further casts and cancel into other things, and then once the
Mhm.
mana's out, you take a lot of extra damage and or you have to restock it by sacrificing life and tension, you know. But while he's full mana, it feels as if he can overwhelm Happy Chaos and teleport up to him and fucking do whatever, you know. So, will Gun defeat Magic? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
That's always a fun question to ask.
Can that man defeat his mentor? You know.
Mhm.
Yeah. No. I'm happy as well because old head Guilty Gear fans have been very vocal about how the franchise, as it's gone on, has become more and more dumbed down because there used to be and there always was like a really high level of matchup knowledge, execution, and technicality required to like play Guilty Gear at the highest levels. Accent Core is fucking insanity compared to Exerd. When Exerd released, there was a movement of people that were like, "This is dumbed down, fuck this," and then Strive is dumbed down compared to Exerd, so it's double further removed from Accent Core, right? Here is a character within this dumbed down version of the game, so to speak, that requires all of it. Here
Mhm.
you go, right? Let's see what you do with it. Are you gonna, will you die like a
No, I
dog?
don't wanna. No, I'm not gonna. No. I'm never gonna pick that character.
Will you perish?
No, in fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fucking make sure to buy those characters separately and not get the battle pass, so the people come over to my house. Asuka's just not on the fucking
Not
roster at all.
available. You will never. The ultimate
Yeah,
dog.
no, it's weird. I never got that character. I don't think he came out in this
Hmm.
region.
Yeah,
Weird.
strange. Also, just design wise, a couple of fucking awesome things happening. One, we traded off the cat ears for the eye flower. We've talked
Oh,
about that
fuck,
before.
thank God. Oh my God. This character I'm never gonna play, and let's be honest, I'm probably never gonna fight either. Still, from a distance, I'm like, dear God, get that cat shit off his fucking head.
He's
God, Lord.
he's important. He's Soul's rival. Make him cool, please. Make him the coolest of the nerds. Two, he's got the cloak that he's been wearing for the whole franchise with his face covered
Oh,
and shit, but
yeah.
now it's open and you can see that within it is the fucking universe,
Yeah,
you
of
know?
course. Yeah, the universe.
And
Yes.
like
Mhm.
like just like he's got the absolute drip going on. And three, motherfucker's got the J's. He's got the J1s. He's rocking them. And he's a mage with the spell book. I've talked about the modern mage, that I like the aesthetic of, but the fucker's wearing Jordans, man. So it's Guilty Gear to the end, you know? No matter
I've
how
used
fantasy
every.
bullshit.
I have learned every spell that exists on this earth in order to keep you from getting in and stomping on my shoes.
I have seen every possible reality. I've seen every possible creation. I've looked into the backyard, and the absolute peak of kicks is Jordan's. There has never been a better shoe in any reality anywhere. Oh man, so good. So fucking good. Don't you dare. Don't you dare step on him. Can't wait
Um,
for, as Solid has put it, all the spells to be flying across the screen, and Saul is just like, I don't know, man. Heavy mob cemetery. Let's go. Ah!
heavy slash.
Shit.
Heavy slash. I'm gonna heavy slash.
Ugh.
One last thing before we leave Street Fighter, which is I had a moment. As I said, I'm checking out the Street Fighter Reddit for people's clips matches. I had a moment that was made me have a huge smile, which was somebody taking a photo of the Twitch category for Street Fighter 6
Mhm.
and the top 10 streamers at the time, and was like, please don't let this be Grid Fighter 6.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it was like almost everybody on there was on the grid, either in training mode or doing matches. And then I was like, wait, that's me. I'm one of the only people on that list that's having matches off the grid.
The training mode is gonna be there, for sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, you're gonna see if you just joined on the our Reddit Street Fighter, you're gonna see a bunch of dank ass fucking Street Fighter memes, including I don't know the artist, but they do a ton of like Street Fighter 6 based gags of Cammy not being announced yet, and Jury making fun of her, and now Ryu crying as
His
Chun-Li
friends leave.
and disappear. He's like, "Don't
And he
leave."
gets stuck with Luke again in the demo.
Yeah. Come on, Ryu. But yeah, no, I think we're gonna be fine. I think tournament wise, we're gonna continue to see a good stage variety. We have to find out what the lag situation is, because what often will determine where the top players play is whether or not the stage has lag on it. The forest in Guilty Gear had issues where I felt like the game hitch a couple times, and I was like, oh, that's not good. So please don't make the aesthetics come at a cost,
So you know
hopefully
one of the best things is that I got a lot
that's
of
the
time
case here.
in figuring out, which was this is for spectators and for your versus opponents. Stage can be anybody for anyone.
You could
Like
do it
people
that
hopping
way.
in to spectate my matches and discovering they were not seeing the stage that was being shown on stream.
hmm
Fucking finally, God.
But this only works if, like I just said, there is no different lag in the stages. Because if there are moments that do happen, where like something slows down in one person's viewing experience because of the stage, and someone else doesn't get that, we have a desync, right?
You know what they should do, right? They should look at all the stages and be like, oh, the Chinatown stage has two ms of lag, and then they need to go and add that to the grid.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Artificially.
There we go. Add
Keep
yes,
keep it even. Keep
keep
it
it
keep it
even.
fair.
The slowest stage is the baseline for all stages. This is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Someone was out there going like ban the grid, and it's like, all right, fuck, asshole, let's be ridiculous.
Let's
That's
be
insane.
fair. In your day-to-day experience playing Street Fighter 6, you can ban the grid.
If you want to, you can do whatever you want.
I did it within the first 10 minutes of hopping on the first beta, and I have never seen the grid since.
Great. I have no problem
Rules.
with it. But like you can, some grids are also nicer than others. Not all grids are made evenly.
Yeah,
I
the
was
Street Fighter grid sucks.
the online waiting grid in Tekken is awesome. The dark grid looks really cool. The Capcom versus SNK 2 blue grid looks really nice. There's a bunch of them that are like way more stylish than others are sometimes.
The Street Fighter one is like uniquely awful. Like
It's the gray box to test out how far your footsies go. Well, it did help though. It helped in one way. I was going to make a video when I got all the footage of the other characters, comparing the distance of drive rushes and drive impacts, because they appear to be different. But
Yeah.
thanks to the lines on the grid floor, I saw that they were actually universal. That's just the character
They
size
are?
that makes it feel different. Yes.
they
Zangief,
they feel very different in size.
I was going to make that video. Zangief looks like he only travels a little distance, but they all start further back and land on the red line. And it's the animation that gives you that illusion, but they're traveling the same distance.
That's
And that's where you need the grid to get that piece of information.
Bro, I want to play Street Fighter 6 so fucking bad. This has been Like, do you remember last year I was like, fighting games have hurt my feelings, and I am sad about fighting games.
Yeah, I do
Street
recall
Fighter
something like
6,
that.
I'm now just going, dude, I want to play more Street Fighter 6 right
Turns out,
now.
turns out all they got to do is make a good one. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I mean,
You
it would
know,
help, right?
to undo the um, I forget the exact wording, but it was something to the effect of, "It was so bad, it makes me wish I never liked fighting games," or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, that's where it was at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it just,
That's
hey,
totally where it was at.
give it a minute, and hey, look, a good one's here. How about that?